And to continue with, let's have this real cause of the economic problem. The real cause of the shortage or scarcity of goods and services is that there are not enough factors of production to make all of the goods and services that the population needs and wants. Now, let's go to the definition. What are these factors of production? The factors of production are those resources needed to produce goods and services. There are four factors of production, and they are in limited supply. So let's see, we have the land, labor, capital, and enterprise. Land refers to all of the natural resources provided by nature and includes fields and forests, oil, gas, metals, and other mineral resources. Labor refers to the manpower, the workers, the number of people available to make products. Capital refers to the finance, machinery, and equipment needed for the manufacture of goods. Enterprise refers to the skill and risk-taking ability of the person who brings the other resources or factors of production together to produce a good or service. For example, I want you to highlight this part, the owner of a business. These people are called entrepreneurs. In any one country and in the world as a whole, these factors of production are limited in supply as there is never enough land, labor, capital, or enterprise to produce all of the needs and unlimited ones of a whole population. There is an economic problem of scarcity. Okay, so let's go to the definition of scarcity. Let's get down to it. Scarcity refers to the lack of sufficient products to fulfill the total wants of the population. As you see in the diagram we have here, there's so many unlimited ones, unlimited, okay, plus the limited resources, granting that we have only, not enough resources to produce our wants, the wants of the population, then that means there will occur scarcity. So the real cause of the economic problem is scarcity. Let us try to remember this diagram so that we may explain how scarcity um, uh, exists, okay, and how do we get about with scarcity? How does it exist actually? How do we have it, like experience it? Okay, let's go to the next topic, which is limited resources, the need to choose. We make choices every day. We have to, as we have limited resources, but we have so many wants. So we therefore have to decide which wants we will satisfy and which we will not. Okay, let us try to go out to our next topic, which is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the next best alternative given up by choosing another item. I give you one good example. Nowadays we're having our online classes. Okay, granting that your dad or your mom gave you $1,000. Now, you want to buy a laptop and you want to buy also the materials needed given by the school that you will be needing as the school opens. So now, with only $1,000, you may not be able to buy the materials and the laptop at the same time. So you have to choose. Now, if you choose to buy the laptop first and leave the materials aside, maybe because you still have notebooks from last year, you still have pens and pencils from last year, okay, you have still these markers and everything, okay, so the materials can wait, new materials can wait, okay, so the priority is buying your laptop, which you will have to use, okay, in your online classes. Okay, so let's see. We have, if for example, we have this example, you bought the laptop. So which will be your opportunity cost? The materials, because it's the next best alternative given up. You gave up buying new materials by choosing another item, which is the laptop in our example. Can you follow? Okay, so all choices involve giving something up. This leads to opportunity cost. The question is, we have here, should I take a bus to school or use the money for a new pen to write clear business studies notes? Do I buy a new pair of trainers or spend the money on a small smartphone? Okay, we do not have the resources to satisfy uh, okay, to satisfy all our wants, so the next best alternative that we give up becomes our opportunity cost. This problem of what to give up exists not only for consumers like us, but for governments and businesses too. In making choices, we need to consider carefully the opportunity cost to make sure it is not worth more to us than the item we are buying. Okay, so let's see. We have uh, our next topic. Let's see some examples of opportunity cost. Okay, so let's turn to the next page of our textbook. We have here um, examples for individuals, for businesses, and for the government. How do they take opportunity cost? How do they create or make? How do they come up with opportunity cost? For individuals, for example, you're given a choice to have a holiday or a car. The individual chooses to buy the holiday, so the car becomes the opportunity cost. Can we follow? Now, for businesses, we have, for example, machine A or machine B. The company decides to buy machine A, so machine B becomes the opportunity cost. Can you follow now? For the government's case, they will have to choose between the two, building a new road or building a new school. Okay, the government chooses to build the road, so the school becomes the opportunity cost. Can we follow now? Let's try to see the next topic we'll have here. It's the revision summary. Okay, all through the study of business studies, we'll be having revision summaries at the end of its major topic or perhaps at the end of its chapter. In this case, we have the economic problem, and we have this illustration in our book. This illustration will help us be familiar with the topics taken up. For example, you're going to start with, in the middle, the economic problem, right? So above, okay, there are two things to consider in dealing with the economic problem. We have the limited resources and we have the unlimited wants. Okay, so limited resources, we have the land, labor, capital, enterprise. For unlimited wants, we have scarcity, choices necessary, that leads to opportunity cost. Okay, so now let us try to be familiar with this illustration and go back to our lessons, the lessons we have just taken up. Okay, so I'm gonna see you in the next slide.